Sorry about that. The woes of having kids. They can walk in unannounced, and you've got to quickly stop your video. But you've already recorded nearly 10 minutes, so you're not going to go ahead and start all over again. So yeah, I was getting a little distracted there. This bit here, this is actually the line trace. I was getting a little confused. This here is what I was talking about. It just looks very similar because it's getting world rotation, etc. And I'm not a blueprint expert, so I lose track sometimes. I do need to put a comment around this. I do usually put a comment around stuff to let myself know what I'm doing. See, I do. I actually do. So yeah, anyway, this bit here, this is actually a bit redundant. This is what we were trying to do to destroy the asteroids. So we would put the tag of food on each asteroid, and then once projectile hits, destroy anything with tag food. Unfortunately, that doesn't work because the asteroid system itself, sorry, the music again, is one object. The actors are not individual objects. So what was done instead, and this was so I was helped through this by the guy who actually built the asteroid system itself. This initiates a line trace from the ship forward, and then, well, what I actually did was I changed it into a sphere trace, and I placed it on the projectile. This bit of code here, this is the line trace from the ship. Yeah, so what was happening before was that there was a line trace on the projectile, and the projectile would fire forward, and the line trace would say you're the asteroid. The line trace does that. My fist is the sphere, right? And then it would destroy the object. The problem with that is that sometimes it was coming out and doing this. In fact, all the time it was coming out and doing this, right? So sometimes it would hit and it wouldn't destroy because the line trace doesn't hit. So I looked into it, and it did turn out that I can add what's called sphere trace. So I just added a sphere trace. Instead of a line coming out of the sphere, I just put a sphere inside the sphere and just had that line trace sphere encompass the projectile. So now that it fires forward like that. So once that happens, that's this bit here. So cast to the asteroid base. Again, I'm not a blueprint expert, so please bear with me if I'm sounding like an idiot. And it just removes the. This is what it does in the end. Once it's hit, right? Get data from hit. Remove the instance. Cool. Yeah. So what next? So next on the flying pawn, yeah, so we've got the pause menu, create pause menu widget. This is the flip-flop is, yeah, it's to set the game up paused or not. Yeah, this is simple. It creates that, adds it to the viewport, sets the game to paused if pressed. If pressed again, flip-flops to remove it, and then unpause the game. So the gun, yeah, this is to spawn the projectile at the gun. Action fire. No, this is when you fire. So when you fire, spawn projectile, get world transform, fire. Yeah, okay, you get the idea. Instigator self, yep. So the timer, I don't fully understand how this works because again I followed a tutorial to get this to work, but it basically this bit of blueprinty code here puts the timer on the top of the screen, We've got the seconds variable here, minutes variable here. It's because from what I gather, it's not. In fact, it's not a timer per se. It's told to change every second, which I know that's what a timer is. The problem is if the game starts to like slow down or lag due to performance issues, that second that it thinks it is actually drawn out. So the timer will slow down as the game slows down, thus technically in my view not making it an actual timer, because it's sort of it's just changing a number from 58 to 59 or whatever, based on the speed of the game, not based on like actual seconds or the actual minutes. So yeah, I think so. From what I'm seeing when I play the game, if I've ever had performance issues. So the once the timer runs out, creates the game over widget, which is just on the screen, game over, restart or whatever. I'll show you that in a minute. Adds that to the viewport and sets the game to paused, because it doesn't end the game. It just pauses it and says, right, what do you want to do? Do you now want to end the game by clicking quit or return to main menu or whatever? Or do you want to restart? In which case it would reload the level. So yeah, I'm wondering if there's anything else. I think that's everything in here. Yeah, the only other thing I guess worth noting down is that there's this bit here. So the event tick, you can't create two of those, but you can sort of cheat. This is not a splitter. It is a sequence. It looks like a splitter. It acts like a splitter. It's not a splitter. It runs through these in sequence. So even though it does that like super fast, so you wouldn't really know. So that's why it's effectively a splitter. If you had things that needed to happen like one after the other, I can't really think of an example off the top of my head, but if you needed things that happen one after the other, then you would need to put them in order in this sequence. If you put them in the wrong order, then they would happen in the wrong order, and then you wouldn't get the desired result. So I think that is it for now for the flying pawn. Yep, I think that's everything covered. The variables are down here for those on the blueprint. So I suppose I'll just give you a quick demonstration. I need to sort this possess out. I don't know why that's not auto-possessing. Anywho, it's only doing that on a test, so it's all good. Yeah, so there's the bounce. That's what happens when you put quite a bit of linear and angular dampening. You could put more on, but then you'd have to increase the boost and that, and it's a bit annoying. So I think this is pretty good. It flies pretty well. I'm happy with it. It's stop. I can initiate the stop. Here's the reset orientation. So up. Yeah. See, if I turn here, it'll take me to there, right? That's fine. But then if I turn if I go over and I rotate around and all sorts like that, then what it's going to do is it's going to rotate me back to that same spot. Like that, you see? Let me try and move away, right? Yeah, back. Yep. So that's something that I really need to fix, but it's arguably better to have it than not have it. I just realised that the projectile carries on through, it doesn't destroy itself when it hits an actor. That's very interesting. Okay. Get lost a bit in that. So the last thing I guess I'll show is just a bit of aesthetics. So from a wonderful modeler called Trinity, who's been making all of my models for me. She made all the food. I made the planet, but everything else has been made by Trinity. And she's worked on this little ship here, which I did conceive by putting all of the things in my kitchen together in a ship shape, which is that. If I can just find the image here very quickly. So here you go. That's what it looked like there in my kitchen, and then that's what Trinity's created. Absolutely superb job. I'm very, very happy with that. It's great. It looks great. I'm told it'll look a little different. I think there's going to be some like connections made, like here and on the wings and whatnot. There might be. I think she said something about making it look a little bit more shippy. So we'll see how that comes out. But I trust her creative judgment. So yeah, I think that's it on the flying pond. There's not much else to, or not anything else to say. So yeah. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.